Hey everyone, it's Mike from Lanzarote Information. Thanks for watching another of our videos. And this week I'm going to be talking about the police forces of the Canary Islands. And I was asked to do this specifically by one of our viewers, so thank you for the suggestion. The question they asked was, why are there so many police forces in Lanzarote and what do they all do? So I will endeavour to answer that question for you. There are actually 4 police forces that operate on the island. The first one is the Policia Local. These are the guys and girls who wear the blue and white uniforms, and they drive blue and white cars and motorcycles. Next up, we've got the Guardia Civil, and the Guardia Civil are the guys and girls who wear green and black uniforms, and their cars are green and white, and their motorcycles are also green and white. Next, we have the Policia Nacional, and they wear the black uniforms, their cars and motorcycles are black. And finally, and most recently, we now have a Canarian police force who also wear black, and they drive black vehicles as well. So let's talk about each of these, and the ones you'll see most commonly as you travel around the island are the Policia Local. And as their name suggests, they are the local police. So they're attached to the municipality that they work within. So for example, here in Aria, we have, I think there's 4 coppers. I know 2 of them really well. I mean, they really are like the local old-fashioned, as we English would say, bobbies on the beat. I see them in the village every day. And their job, as you would imagine, is to look after the people of the municipality. So they will get involved in crimes here. They'll do more mundane things like direct traffic. If there's an accident in the municipality, they'll probably be the first on scene to it. They close the road outside our house every morning so that the school bus can go the wrong way up it because it can't turn at the top of the road to go the right way. Those are an example of the sort of things the Policia Local get involved in. And for sure, they're the most friendly and approachable of cops on the island. They really are very much like the old-fashioned village bobby, if that exists anymore in the United Kingdom. But they are part of the community, they live in the community, and you'll see them out and about all the time. Now next up we have the Guardia Civil. The English version of their name would be Civil Guard, and as you would expect, they're organised very much on a military basis. So they have officers and NCOs and the equivalent to privates, and they operate very much in a military way. They wear the famous green and black uniforms, and up until fairly recently, and they still do it for ceremonial stuff, they wore the famous tricorn hats. Now these guys and girls operate on a national basis. They are responsible for investigating and dealing with most of the crime in Spain. So if you have a burglary here, for example, whilst your first port of call might be your local policeman, the Policia Local, it's the Guardia Civil that will do the investigation and take fingerprints and all those kind of things. They are also organised into a number of divisions, so they have a Tráfico division as well, and the Guardia Civil Tráfico are responsible for the roads between towns. So for example, if you are caught for speeding in Puerto del Carmen, you'll probably be ticketed by a local policeman, a Policia Local. But if you're on the road between Puerto del Carmen and Tias, you're likely to be caught and ticketed by a Guardia Civil Tráfico officer. They also run breathalyzer checkpoints at various parts of the island. You'll see them on roundabouts on the evenings and at weekends. And they are entitled to stop any car without reason and just ask you to blow into the breathalyzer to prove that you're not driving over the limit. Guardia Civil are the most populous force, and they have a maritime division, and you'll see they've got a couple of beautiful cutters that patrol the shore off Lanzarote. So that's staffed by Guardia Civil. They also have an air division, so they have a couple of helicopters between Lanzarote and Fuerteventura that they will use for air-sea rescue and also dealing with immigrant arrivals and that kind of thing. So the Guardia Civil are the cross-national police force, so they are the police force of Spain in the same way that the gendarmerie are of France and that the police service of the United Kingdom are. Now next up we've got the Policia Nacional, and these guys and girls are the ones responsible for border security. So they're the people you'll see at the airport who are stamping your passports and checking you in. They are also responsible for dealing with serious crimes. So they have a big drugs division, they deal with terrorism incidents, they have an anti-terrorism division. Part of their job is to protect the king and all the politicians and celebrities within Spain. Now, while the Guardia Civil, as I described, are kind of like the National Police Force of Spain, the Guardia Civil are more like the FBI are in the United States. And finally, we have a fourth, and this is the Policia Canaria. This is the Canarian police force, who confusingly dress in black as well. Canarian Police Force was only instituted in 2010, so it's very young, it's very new at what it does. Now I have to say that until late 2024, we didn't actually have this fourth police force in Lanzarote. We do have a few officers here now, but it was started, as I said, in 2010. Most of the initial officers were in Tenerife and Gran Canaria. We now have a very small detachment of Policia Canaria in Lanzarote. And their role is described as defending the people, institutions, buildings and organisations of the Canary Islands. And I have to be honest, I don't really know anything beyond that about them, because they haven't really factored into my life at all since they haven't been on the island until recently, and I've never met one and spoken to them. So it sounds like they have a big crossover with what the other forces, the much larger forces, do on the island. And I guess we'll find out in the coming years how effective they are and what roles they take on that the other police forces aren't currently covering. And that's it. Those are the four police forces that you will find on the island: Policia Local, Guardia Civil, Policia Nacional, and now Policia Canaria. They are all armed, by the way. So thank you for the question to the viewer who sent that in to me. I hope you found that interesting. If you've got any questions about that, pop them in a comment below, or anything to do with Lanzarote. I read every single comment and I will be happy to answer your questions. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like. It really does help us. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now, everyone. Bye.